So we just got the release of Paramount's new show, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and it's just as good as I think all of us were hoping for. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandon and this is Film Flare, where we discuss anything and everything that makes film and television great. So be sure to subscribe and let's talk about a fantastic new show.
What's the mission?
Our mission? We explore. We seek out new life and new civilizations. We boldly go where no one has gone before.
Cool.
This show opens up only just a few months after we last saw our main characters helping to defend the USS Discovery from a rogue AI before that ship slipped into the future.
Seems like a million years ago.
3 months, 10 days, 4 hours, 5 minutes actually.
And right off the bat, I really love how this show tied up that loose end and acknowledges the previous events that happened in Discovery. The whole first episode just feels like it's solely dedicated just to dealing with the aftermath of that one single event.
We're less than 1 light year out from 0 point, where we and the crew of Discovery opened up a wormhole to the future. We lit up the sky.
And while this show does tie in with Star Trek Discovery, it immediately stands on its own and feels like the more classic Star Trek that we all know and love. Because this series is supposed to be a prequel to the original series, and the show will follow the crew of the USS Enterprise as they come up through the ranks under the OG Captain Christopher Pike. Now, full disclosure, I didn't grow up with a love for this franchise. I wasn't even all too aware of it before Chris Pine and Zoe Saldana showed up on screen together. And if I'm being honest, those movies weren't really all that great. They did a good enough job of introducing a new generation to the franchise, but they won't really go down in history as some of the best. Some stories I actually really have enjoyed have been all of the more recent Star Trek television shows. And yes, that does go for Star Trek Discovery as well. I know there's a whole section of hardcore Star Trek fans who absolutely despise that show, but I personally think it's a great addition to the IP, which has so much room in its history and lore for some sort of outside of the box thinking when it comes to some stories being told. And I like the way Star Trek Discovery pushed those boundaries. Something that I think's been a strength for all of the new shows is that they all feel expressly unique and can stand alone on their own, yet still somehow manage to give up that feeling that is uniquely Star Trek. This show, Strange New Worlds, goes back to its roots, both figuratively and literally. We get to see all of these well-known characters just before their prime, and it's always fun to watch characters grow into the versions of themselves that we already know and love, especially because of just how great we already know these characters are gonna be in their prime. I'm especially looking forward to Celia Rose Gooding as Cadet Uhura. We've already seen a lot of the cast already, but she is a clean slate so far. With the most character development to be explored, I think, of everybody on screen. The same goes for Christina Chong as La'an Noonien Singh, the predecessor to one of the most famous villains in all of Star Trek. I also thought Ethan Peck put in a great performance as the young Spock on Discovery, so I'm really excited to see more of him flesh out his character in this series, especially how his relationship with Uhura is going to advance now that he starts off the series getting engaged on Vulcan. And of course, there's Anson Mount, who was flawless the last time we saw him play Captain Pike on screen, and although there wasn't really much for him to do then as he was kind of just a placeholder on Discovery, I'm really expecting Captain Pike to come to new levels now that he's got his own show that's centered around him. And the series wastes no time delving into that character as the show opens up with him dealing with some of his issues. Although I do hope those aren't recurring and focused on enough for it to become overbearing as the season goes on. But it will be really interesting to explore all of that and see how he handles it moving forward. Now, if you can't already tell, I'm really excited for this show, and the first episode did not disappoint. It was a really good starting point and a reintroduction to a couple of characters we last saw on screen, I think over a year ago, and a proper introduction to a lot more. I'm really looking forward to seeing more from these characters and their stories throughout the rest of the upcoming season. But what are your thoughts on the pilot episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds? Let me know in the comments below. New episodes air Thursdays on Paramount Plus. But before you go and watch that, please do give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more content and reviews like this. And until next time, have a great day and don't forget to watch a great show. Bye.
Let's take her out, Lieutenant Ortegas. Warp factor 2.
Hit it.